Hello, welcome to Model Kit Stuff, welcome to First Impressions Day, but it's not just First Impressions Day because we're doing a double First Impressions. You're gonna love this. Yes, hello, welcome back to Model Kit Stuff. My name, if you don't know, is Jason, and today we're looking at two kits that are going to be brought together along with the Albion Fueler that we've already done a review of in a little diorama at some point in the future. So we're going to have a look at the Airfix 1:48 scale Hawker Hurricane Mark 1. This is kit number A05127A, so you can get it with your flying hours. And accompanying it, the released in 2025, the reissue of, I forget when it was, I will find out, 2015, the same year as the Albion Fueler, 1:48 scale, World War II RAF ground crew. So this is kit A04702, so again, available with your flying hours. So let's have a look at the aircraft first, and then we'll take a look at the supporting figures. So this year, Airfix brought out the Albion Fueler, the ground crew, and they just absolutely wants to be built with something like a Battle of Britain Mark 1 Hurricane. Now, we have built a 1:48 scale Hurricane before. We've built an Airfix one before, but that was the tropical version. So I'm keen to have a look at this one. So we've got the usual box, flimsy lid and fairly thin base. And you can see, you know, I've not had this that long, and you can see it's already starting to crush. So it's not great for stashing. If you're going to put it in your stash, make sure you've not got things smaller weighted on top, which is actually what's happened to this a little bit while it was in a pile waiting to be first impressioned. So nice bit of artwork on the front with the Hurricane taking out a German bomber. We can see more aircraft in action and more bombers. So that's what they were doing at that time. Usual information on the side. It tells us it's a 2015 tooling. The pack design is 2020, so I guess that's when this came out, although I did buy this direct from Airfix. And we've got cartograph decals, and that it was made in India. That's what I was looking for. So let's open up the box. This is in the new plastic, so even though it's a 2020 re-release, it's been produced in the new plastic. I'm just going to take this out. As you can see, I've not opened the bag, I have not looked at it. It's a genuine first impressions, and I've purchased this kit, so it's not a promotion. Right, that all said, let's have a look at our instructions. So, standard Airfix instructions, nice matte colour instructions, A4 stapled, usual format. We're not going to labour on them too much because I have done a first impressions review of this Mark 1 Hurricane before, like I say, as a tropical one, and it's pretty much the same. So just to give you a brief understanding of the build up, we've got seat, internal frame, cockpit frame sat on top of the landing gear frame. All builds up really nicely, as I recall when we built this. If you do want to see how this builds up, go and have a look at my build of the Tropical Spitfire. Do have a full build diary on it. Separate pedals, yoke, framework, all looks really nice. Then we've got separate bottles. We do have a figure with separate arms. Then we've got the completed seat and cockpit area being installed into the lower wing. We've got optional cutouts in the wings if you want to see the ammunition and guns, and why wouldn't you? Then we're installing those parts, ammunition boxes going in, bulkheads going in. All of these can be painted in advance and then plopped in. More bracing going in, then doing exactly the same on the other side of the wing. Upper wing goes on top. You've got two different options, so opened up or not opened up. And obviously if you're not having them opened up, then you don't need to bother putting the innards in, because I will be building this on a diorama. We're going to have them opened up so that you can have a look inside, and maybe the guys are refilling them or something like that. All depends on what figures we've got. Decal going onto the dials there. It's a single decal. You might want to cut it up to reduce some of the decal film issues that you get, but shouldn't be much of a problem. I don't recall that it was. A few little details inside the cockpit on the inside of the fuselage halves to paint up, and decal to go on. Bring the two fuselage halves together, slap it on your wing assembly. Then you've got a little piece that goes in underneath, and then the rear fuselage section here. You've got two different types. You've got one with an arrestor hook and one without, but you're not using the arrestor hook in this. You've got two options for mounting your ailerons, so that's a nice little touch as well. Then we build up the tail. We build up the grill for the air intake. I remember that looked quite nice painted up. And then we compose the flap at the back, put the front end on. We've got another air scoop going in. Tail wheel, gear up, then gear down, multi-part gear. I think it was made up of two parts, as I remember. 1, 2, is that right? Yes. Then we've got the wheels. They built up really well because you've got two half wheels, and then you've got the rear of the wheel in the tyre, which mounts onto there, but the front hub you paint separately, so it's a nice little compromise. Then some of the detail parts, your exhaust going in, that looked really good as well. Then you're putting your spinner on, which works quite nicely, and then a little clear part that needs a bit of painting up. And then your canopies, you can do open or closed, different parts for open or closed. We've got the clear parts going on the wings, and then you've got your optional parts that you cut out, which you can lay around your wing as you see fit. So 59 steps. It builds up really well. It's a nice easy build and quite a lot of fun, as I remember. Paint instructions, nice and clear. This is flown by Sergeant, that's Polish, I reckon. Yeah, it says number 303 Polish Squadron, Royal Air Force, Northolt, England, September the 27th, 1940. So the Polish pilots were some of our best pilots for the Battle of Britain, because they did have some experience, certainly in the early stages. We can see nice clear paint instructions, paints listed out, decals in red squares. We've got a nice amount of stencils as well as the main markings. It's all good. And then we've got an alternative paint option, which is aircraft flown by Flight Lieutenant Ian Richards. I can pronounce that name, known as Witch apparently. Glede number 87 Squadron, Royal Air Force, Exeter, Devon, England, August 1940. So main differences with the paint scheme, because the camouflage is going to be pretty much the same. is the spinner. Red on that one, black on that one. Gotta say, quite like the red. We have a decal for the back end, the nose of the aircraft behind the spinner. So you will want to use the Humbrol 60 matte scarlet to match the decal colour, or you're going to be mixing paints. So yeah, that all looks pretty good. I think you've got maybe one or two less decals. Maybe I'm imagining it. I think it's probably about the same. And we've got a little research note, and it says, may have had the roundels and fin flashes finished in brighter shades of red and later repainted in the dull shades. Alternative decals are provided for the brighter red at the modeller's discretion. Okay. Photographs appear to indicate P2798 serial was overpainted rather than removed by sensors. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, there you go. So it gives you two sets of decals, so you can do a brighter one or a more subdued one. Interesting. Let's have a look at the decals then. So our decals are divided up with common, paint scheme A, paint scheme B. So there seems to be anti-slip sections on paint scheme A that weren't present on paint scheme B, but paint scheme B has got the little red flashes behind the spinner. And then we've got these brighter dots which can be used over the common decals to give you a brighter spot. I think I'd be tempted to do that, and a grey anti-slip rather than a black anti-slip. And we've also got a little penguin decal there that I missed. So I think we're going to do paint scheme B when we build this. Nicely laid out, cartograph, so you know you're not going to have any issues. They're not thick and chunky. Colour saturation is good. Register is excellent. No issues at all with that. Then step 9, we've got another figure, not quite sure what he's doing. And then step 10, we've got a guy with glasses. So it's the same face, just different hat. So it's not like they've done different heads, it's same heads. It's interesting. And he's doing some form of fueling task as well. Now is this the guy from, is this paint instructions? So let's have a look. Yeah, it is. It's paint instructions. So that's the guy from figure 1, and that's the paint instructions separately for figure 1. See how they're doing it. Okay, so paint instruction for 1, we can see the hose attached this time. For 2, nice paint instructions for the pilot there. So you see in front and back, alternate heads. They're culling out all the paint colours for it. That's brilliant. Then you've got the pilot, suggested skin for your dog. The guy in overalls, which is nice. Yeah, all very good. That gets us to page 8, and we've got an oil Bowser being built up. So 2-part body, 2 separate wheels, and the little pulling frame, and then a rest for it. So 1, 2, 3, 4 steps to do that. Has a little grill that goes in, and then the actual filling station with a pump handle. So that's pretty cool. Then we're on the trolley accumulator, whatever that may be. So we've got a frame, then we're building up a body. We've got an option, not quite sure I'm clear what that option is. But anyway, oh right, so you, depending on whether you want to mount that equipment or not, which body type you use. So you then build up the rest of it, a little gas bottle, and then you've got some compressor equipment or something like that on the top. I think I'd do that. It will look a little bit cooler. Then you've got an ammunition trolley, which is pretty much the same as the same setup as for the Bowser, but we're building ammunition boxes, and there's even guns to go on them, so if you want to replace the guns. And then we've got a separate oil and whatever canisters, so that's cool. Oh, this is nice. Then we've got the paint instructions. So we've got the paint instructions for the Bowser and what have you there. So it's all been painted in like the RAF blue. Then you've got the ammunition boxes in green, and then we've got chocks. Look at that, 2 different types of chocks, all being painted in natural wood. Job's a good one. This looks like a really nice set. So let's have a look at the plastic. So looking at the plastic tube first, and I've got kinks in both of mine, which is a bit annoying. I just want to see if I can pop that out. Yeah, I can. It's not brilliant, but I might be able to do something with it depending on what we're doing it. It's nice and flexible, and because it's hose, it'll just fit onto those parts. So yeah, I have no issues with that. They're really nice. Enjoying the video? Want to see this get built? Then you need to hit the subscribe button. It's underneath this video, and next to it there is a little thumbs up. If you click on that for me as well, and then we'll crack on with the show. Right then, so our first sprue has got all the figures on, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so our figures, our bases. First thing I'm noticing is there just a hint of flash on them. The seam is has just spread a little bit, so a little bit of cleanup to do. But they seem to be nicely sculpted, nicely detailed. The creases and things are all hanging quite naturally, so they all look good. The poses all look fairly natural as well, even though some of them are unusual poses, they still look fairly natural. Yeah. A little bit of sink in the case, but nothing we can't sort. You know, just take the buckle off, level it all up, put the buckle back on. Faces, I always love faces. I'm going to put my magnifying glasses on so I can have a better look. This guy looks like he's straight out of Dad's army. See if I can get you even closer. Don't you think? What was his name? Gaahleri, was it? The senior gentleman who was the first aider. He looks just like him. So yeah, the plastic helmets, the steel helmets, because they're moulded in, they're not amazing, but they're passable, I think. So yeah, but the rest of the figure looks really nice. Hands I don't think are oversized. Let's have a look at this next figure. Again, we've got spread fingers, but they're done really well. Yeah, and even these are thick plastic. There is no sink in them, so we've not got a sunk belly or anything like that. Yeah, and they do look like they're under pressure, these guys. There we go. Corporal Jones. We've got the whole cast of Dad's army here. I wonder if they've done that on purpose. That would be funny, wouldn't it? Yeah, so he's got his moustache. Quite like him actually in his... It's a bit of a funny shape on the steel helmet on this one. So I quite like him in his cap. So I think we might do cap with him. Yeah, I like this guy. He's really, really cool. this guy, so ammunition loader, younger lad. I quite like the fact that he's got the strap on with his helmet, so I think we'd paint that. Nicely done ammunition. Obviously it's oversized and chunky, but I can excuse that at this scale. Yeah, that looks okay as well. All good. Yep, no issues with the moulding. Then we've got this dog who's absolutely loving going for a run with the pilot. He's got his tongue out and what have you. Big sprue ejector pin there we're going to have to chunk out and then do a little bit of work to do some shaping. But doesn't the pilot detail look nice? Really, really nice. Parachute looks good. Some lovely opportunities for some detail painting there. I think the pilot looks a bit old. When you think of the average age of these guys, they were in the early 20s, and he looks like he's definitely in his late 30s, early 40s. But putting that to one side, he looks really cool. Look at this other pilot now. This is the one clambering in. Yeah, and again, he looks really old. He's got a nice handlebar moustache, but he looks like he's 80. So, yeah. Yeah. Lots of detail though, and it's nicely delivered, and there's no moulding issues. So, really, really good. Yeah, impressed with that. And then we've got these three guys at the end. So we've got the one in the overalls. Again, all the material hangs nicely. And again, quite an older looking guy. Most of them have got some form of facial hair. And then yeah, this guy, I'm not sure what he's doing, but he's also got visible straps for his helmet, which is nice. And he looks like the second in command from Dad's Army. There's definitely a Dad's Army theme going on here, definitely. And then you've got this guy with the glasses. Now, he doesn't really look like Captain Mannering to me. More like that annoying journalist they had in later seasons. But he's got glasses on, so that's nice. And what you can do when you've painted him up is a little blob of PVA glue, tiny amount, and when it dries it will look like glass in those glasses. So I think these figures are really cool. So yeah, that's a nice sprue of parts, and I was really worried we'd have some serious sink, and there's none. So very, very good job. Final sprue of parts is the various little trailers and what have you that we've got, and this immediately stands out as having no issues. I don't see any flash. There's definitely some seam cleanup to be done, but I thought we had like one of these and we've got two, so that's a bonus. Everything is very crisply moulded. Moulding is nice and tight. I think the improved plastic is helping. We've got two flimsy cans as well. They're done really nice. This is really nice. A really nice set of parts. There's no wood texturing on the wood chocks, which I personally like, because that means I can do my own or what have you. Yeah, a little bit of seam cleanup and sorting out on this set here, but other than that, okay. So yeah, I really quite like this. Really quite like this. Yeah, no issues with this. Nice detail. Guns are nicely detailed as well. We've got little rivets on the hinges and things we'd expect. I mean, yeah. Should be easy enough to paint the wheels and tyres. We've got holes at the back which we can mount something on. yeah, I really like this. Let's give you a closer look. So we sum up. So there you have it, the Airfix ground crew set. Let's talk about that first. I know this is a bit of a rough and ready first impressions and not to my normal standards and all that sort of stuff, but we have done a full in-depth first impressions of the Hurricane before, so I didn't want to labour on it. I love this on the back of the box. I didn't show you this until now because this gives you an idea of what you can do with it. And this is my intention. We've got a Hurricane. We're going to put a Hurricane in. We've got these figures here, but we've also got the Albion refueler in the same scale. So that gives us the opportunity then to actually get stuck in with moving some of these guys in and around the Albion fueler. So we can do a slightly bigger arrangement. So my imagination is that we'll have the Albion fueler in front of the Hurricane, with the Hurricane sort of come up, and then the Albion fuelers come up, and fueling's in progress. And the only thing is, would you be doing all of this and having your pilot getting into the aircraft in a hurry? I suspect not. So maybe he's getting out of the aircraft, but then you'd have expected him to have got out by the time this lot I've got here. So I don't know. I think these two may be for another day, another display, or maybe this one pilot might be on another Hurricane on another occasion. I do love the dog and the figure running past. Yeah, I think it's a lovely kit. We have no issues with it. The two sprues are individually packed inside the bag. Instructions are nice and clear. Parts were nice and clear. My only thing is they all look a little old, but no one's really going to labour on that. And the only person that's going to look at this at the end of the day is going to be me. So, yeah, I think a nice little set of parts which really can bring one of your Hurricanes to life. So I really love that. That's a really nice set, and it's not expensive, so put one in your stash so you've got one ready to go. As for the Hurricane, well, we've built one once before. It goes together beautifully. I had a lot of fun painting it and weathering it. So I know this will build up quickly and nicely, and I'm not expecting any issues. It's a little bit annoying that we've got this funny lumpy texturing on it, but you just, when you buy an Airfix kit, there is always a little element of potluck. The sooner they get rid of the Indian manufacturer or solve these issues once and for all, the better. But it's a lovely kit in its own right, and it will build up really nice. Airfix did a good job of the design of this in the newer plastic. I mean, last time I built it was in the old plastic, but in the newer plastic, it should be even better to work with. So, two very nice kits which are going to come together with the Albion refueler, which we've already done a first impressions on, so go and check that out if you've missed it. Those three kits are going to come together, and we're going to have one little, well, not so little, 1/48 scale diorama. This is all coming together for a group build next year. So if you want to get involved in the group builds next year, you need to be thinking about what you might want to do as a sort of diorama style display. Right, until I next see you, you enjoy your modelling. Bye for now.